I've got a product review for you guys today, and this is of the new Nars Climax Mascara. I did go ahead and buy this when I saw it at Ulta because I'm a bit of a mascara junkie, honestly. I really like a good mascara, and I feel like it's a never-ending quest. What I want to do with this video today is tell you about my experience. I have been using this for the past few days, and I think that there are some pros and cons, but mainly a lot of pros with this mascara. And I'm going to walk you through those and tell you about my experience applying it, removing it, how it wears, all of that. And then towards the end of this, we'll do a little bit of a comparison of this mascara to some other mascaras. So just some basics about what this mascara is. It is, of course, called Climax, which is very clearly a reference to the most exciting part of a literary piece, assuming it's a lemon. Nars put some pretty bold claims onto this box here, especially for a study of only 32 women, but they're claiming full and maximum volume, clump-free buildable volume, and instant curl base to tip. So let me tell you guys my thoughts on those claims. The very first time that I applied this mascara, there were two main things that I noticed that just instantly jumped out at me. One is the no clumping claim is kind of incredibly accurate. When you apply this mascara, it goes on perfectly. There is absolutely no clumping, no little spidery looking lashes that you need to brush out, and I am wearing this today. I did not need a lash comb at all today, which is practically a miracle because I like a heavy mascara. I like a heavy mascara appearance. I like volume in my lashes, and to get there I usually have to build up a lot. And this is 2 coats of this mascara, and hopefully you can also see that there is a little bit of a curl going on, and I don't use a lash curler. I am horrified of them. We've talked about this. But I didn't even use my little heated lash curler. I didn't need anything. And I think that is a huge strength of this mascara because when you look at this wand, you don't expect curling. You know, you expect curling from the Benefit Roller Lash type of wand, not from something like this, and yet it delivered very visibly. But I think I know the reason for that, and that is that this is a dry mascara. Out of the tube. You know how a lot of times you'll open a mascara and initially it's kind of wet, so you just wait for it to dry out for the next couple of weeks and then you like it more? Well, you don't have any kind of waiting period with using this. It's instantly dry and very easy to work with. Now, I do recognize that not everybody likes this, and some people like that more heavy and possibly clumpy type of mascara appearance, so maybe this is not for people like that. But I do think this is extremely much for people who are looking for intense volume, close to that falsies appearance. One of the claims with this mascara is that it's very voluminous, and I agree. I think it really is. I can't believe this is 2 coats of it. This is a lot of volume, and for me to achieve this appearance with a lot of the other mascaras I'm going to talk about would have taken me a lot more work. Which leads me to conclude that this mascara is probably going to be loved by people who are short on time, want a very bold and intense lash, don't want to have to worry about a lash comb, don't care to apply falsies. I think it's actually really important to stress that because I see so many people saying how you can use literally any drugstore mascara and it's fine, but then they throw lashes on top of it. I agree with that because you're really relying on lashes. As somebody who doesn't wear lashes very often at all, no, I need a really good mascara to get me close to falsies without actually putting them on. Now, is it going to be too bold for some people? Maybe. It actually might be. It's a very dark pigment. This is the shade Extreme Black, which I think is the only shade that they do have of this. It's a bold mascara. Some other things I wanted to address with actually using this. When you first pull this out, well, this time I didn't get it, but usually I get a little bit too much product right on the end, and I definitely recommend wiping it off on the sides. You can see I've kind of been wiping it off a lot. So I don't know if we might end up getting too much product buildup around here. That's one of my concerns with this mascara. But I also have to add that when I first looked at this, I thought, oh, this is not going to be my favorite type of wand. It's a little bit thick. It's not. It's somehow the perfect size. Nars has mastered it here. Perfect size. So then back to another concern, because it is so dry, I'm not really sure how it's gonna last over time. You know how mascara has a 3-month lifespan? It kind of has me wondering, is it gonna get too dry around maybe the 1 month or the 2 month mark? I don't know right now, but I'm not afraid to put a couple of drops of eye drops into this if it does start to get too dry. So there's a, proposed issue and a proposed solution all in one. So let's address wear time and flaking, because I think these are important to everybody. In terms of wear time, it's got a fantastic wear time. It does not kind of fade throughout the day. It holds its intensity. It somehow holds that curl. Really looks nice all day long. As far as flaking though, you may see a couple of flakes if you don't do the trick where you do your face, spray your setting spray, and then apply your mascara. That has been such a game changer for me for preventing flaking. But I didn't do that today. I just kind of wanted to see what would happen, and I have noticed a couple little tiny, very, very small flecks of this mascara, so it's still going to have that standard flaking. Now, it's a lot less than a mascara it's getting compared to. People keep comparing this to the Too Faced Better Than Sex. I think that clumps and flakes a lot more than this one does. I wanted to leave that on just to kind of show you. I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera all that well, and I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to point out here, is that it's very microscopic almost type of flakes. Wait a minute, that's an exaggeration of something so small. Oh, fascinating. Let's also talk about removal. I give it 5 stars on removal. This was so easy to take off. That was something else I was concerned about, because a lot of my favorite mascaras, especially Lancome mascaras, I love how they wear. I love how there's very minimal flaking. I love the volume, but they are so hard to remove. Nars, you got me there. This is amazing. It came off with the horrendous makeup remover that I'm currently using. That review's coming in a couple days. So yeah, overall, I do love it. I do recommend it. I think that most people are going to love it, but I also think that if you are not into a more dry formula, if you're not into a bold, voluminous lash look, or if you wear falsies, you probably don't need to drop the $24 on this. Let's talk about some comparisons really quickly. So this is getting compared to the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and the only way that I really see that being heavily applicable is that the brush is kind of similar. This is an old and dried out Better Than Sex, so you can't really see that it's a more wet mascara, but just to compare the brush, I don't think they're that similar. This one has, the new Nars one has a little bit of an hourglass shape to it, but the Too Faced one has a more pronounced hourglass shape. Plus, in examining the bristles up close, you can actually see that they have put these kind of like little ball things on the very end of each of these bristles, which the Too Faced Better Than Sex does not have, and I think that's part of what's depositing so much of the product onto your lashes. I'd say in terms of volume, they're similar, but I think that this is just so much more wet and clumpy and flakes a lot more than Climax. I gotta compare this to the Milk Kush mascara, which I've been swearing by. I've said this is my favorite mascara, and honestly, I think I like the Nars Climax even more. That's such a compliment to you, Nars. This is a really great mascara, but what I think is special and unique about Climax is that this builds volume much faster than this. So you can end up with basically the same result wearing both of these, but this is going to take you longer. I think that this gives a really nice, very natural appearance very quickly, whereas this quickly intensifies into a bold, falsies type of look. In many ways, this mascara reminds me of certain characteristics that I love and benefits their Real. Now, not everybody likes their Real or any of the mascaras that are similar to this that do have this plastic bristle wand, and I think what it is the bristles are really, really good for separation. The problem is if you try to dig this one down to the very base of your lashes, you can easily stab yourself in the eye, and that's going to be the case for Tarte's Maneater, for Troublemaker, all of those plastic bristle types of brushes. This seems to have found this perfect balance because of the way that this the bristles on this do have those little balls at the end. It's so good for separating without the cons of the plastic bristles. We're not even going to compare this because it's night and day. If you like Benefit's Roller Lash for the curling aspect, you get it with this mascara, and I think you get more volume with this. This is basically just a curling mascara, and it's very effective for that. And you know, this is that type of wand that I was saying earlier is the kind where you expect to see that curl. This is really just the best of both worlds here because I use this often as a first mascara, and I know I sound excessive for saying this, but I do. I use this first and then I'll go back in with some type of a volumizing mascara. You don't need to with this. And then I just have a whole bunch of other mascaras here. Essence Lash Princess, Smashbox Full Exposure, Monsieur Big, Tarte Lights Camera Lashes, NYX Worth the Hype. I think this is better than all of these, even though it's kind of a similar application and look. I find that some of these are a little bit too wet and you'll need to comb them out. Some of them have way too large of brushes, and then some of them have too small of brushes. So if you like a lot of what's going on with this type of mascara, but you want something that's a step up, it's good. It's really good. Alright, so that is my review of the Nars Climax Mascara. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, YouTube.